What can you tell us about working with the late, great Christopher Reeve?
I cut his face. We were doing a scene in a car, and I was drinking this Yoo-Hoo, and I was supposed to break the bottle on the dashboard and put it up to his throat. Just kind of a volatile character I was playing. And we were using the sugar glass. And that stuff, when you break it, it's not like regular glasses. And I touched him, and it was cut it right there. It was like, they only did the movie because Chris held him up, said, I will only do Superman 4 if you let me do this. And they did, but then here was Superman being menaced by this pimp. No. One of my favorite films to have taken part in. You can't really do anything in a movie to experience the harsh reality of war. There was a scene of the attack of the Unions on the Confederates in a place called Antietam. And you see him where a cannonball just explodes this man's head. And mess gets all over Matthew Broderick. You go into shock. You can show that, you can't experience it. First thing that comes to mind, I guess, is the scene with Jessica Tandy when he first gets her into her car. And that scene where he's following along her on the street, she stops and says, what do you think you're doing? She said, I'm trying to drive you to the stove. Precious moment, and she gets in the car, and there they are. And Hans Zimmer's music. Yeah.
Was this the first time you played an Irishman?
Tell you the truth, I didn't play an Irishman.
You're telling me Red wasn't Irish?
Nobody said when I read the script, we want you to consider this role or that role. I just read the script and I didn't know. So when I called my agent and I said, whatever, I don't know who it is that they want me to play. Who is it by that? I mean, he said Red. I said, oh my God, really? Couldn't believe it. Then someone sent me the novella. And I read the first page, and Red was this Irishman. So I closed the book. I never read another line. I can't play an Irishman.
I know that Brad Pitt was very adamant about the final scene of the film, which was very controversial.
Originally, it wasn't ending the way it did. And I thought from the start of it that was correct. But once we got there, I understood Brad's argument that how could you stop that? What would keep him from it? Said, well, I get that, so fine. Clint called me and he said, you know about this? And I said, yeah, it came through my office. And he said, well, you want to do it? And I said, well, yeah, I want to do it. Of course, I'd love to do it. And he said, well, did you figure out which role would you like to play? And I said, well, which role do you want to play? And he said, well, I'd like to be Frankie. And I thought, yeah, it seems right to me. And I want to play Scrap Iron. I thought Clint Eastwood would get the Oscar for it. I thought he should have gotten at least a nomination. He should have gotten an Oscar.
What is your fondest memory from the set of the Batman movies?
Well, I've always been a fan of Michael Caine's, and this was the first time I've got to work with him. So I guess that jumps out first.
Christian Bale has said this, so I hope this is true. Do you recall him falling asleep as he was preparing to shoot the first scene alongside you and Michael Caine?
He was in bed, so he might well have done that. Yeah.
What did it mean to you to play Nelson Mandela, especially after he said that you were the only one that should play that role?
Well, he didn't put it quite that way, but he did say that if he was to be played and he had a choice, he would choose me, which is good. I told him in order for me to do it, I would need access to him. And he granted it. Playing him was a big feather, huge, huge, huge feather. My one fear in attempting him was I don't do accents. I'm not one of those actors who's blessed with the ability to hear it and repeat it. So first day on the set, and I opened my mouth and he came out, it was thrilling. It's like, oh, there he is. But I remember what he said when we showed him the movie. What he said was, maybe now they'll remember me.